You can see I have a exploded mess here on the workbench. I decided to go ahead and remove the face off of this. That way I can properly clean the face. Give it a once over on the innards. Snazzy. The plastic here has those spinny wheel date code things, and it does say a number on there. I can't read at the moment. It says 12 of 1985. I don't think you could see it in this lighting, but if you could, that's where it would be. I also thought this would be a fantastic time to, service it, clean it up the best I can, clean the switches. This switch right here in the face, man, I tell you, what a pain to clean. It is a sealed unit, and then your power on-off is also a sealed unit. Very challenging. And then all these switches back here, again, you can't see because all this paper. Anyway, all of those are sealed units. These are sealed units. They're momentary buttons. Luckily, they're okay. The other controls down here, the sliders, those are all open air rheostats, very easy to get into. I spent a lot of time just hosing that down, hoping something would absorb, and just wiggling and shaking. And I think I've got it, but I'm not sure. It's been a good solid day since the last scene, so hopefully that's had a chance to set and penetrate and stuff like that. I do have plans of shooting it one more time before I button it up, just for GP purposes and just make sure, especially, these guys down there, since this was stored uncovered for how long, I don't know, where, I don't know. A lot of dust in there, and I'm going to try to get in here and brush it out. Not going to be minty fresh, but hopefully knock some of the dust off. The air compressor did a really good job. Hopefully I can knock a little more off. The fluorescent display on this thing is extremely nice and bright, so I'm very happy about that. Let's see, what else? All this mess is porn. Porn goodness. Nice block diagram detail. The center fold is the schematic on this. Cleaned it, powered it on. That helped with the garble noise, audio that was coming through on the left channel. The right channel is still dead. I get a little audio peeking through, but you really have to turn it way up to get something to go through. So I'm working on the thesis that it's the power amp or those two transistors before, well, I believe it's the preamp, those two transistors. I could be completely wrong. This is the exploded view of the power amplifier. And so I sat here and I thought to myself, what would old school do? And then I thought, gosh, maybe some of you guys are not familiar with old school. You should go check out his YouTube channel. He's a great inspiration to me. He's fantastic at what he does, a lot of knowledge. Look for a link below to his channel. Check it out, subscribe, and tell him Jack sent you. He'd appreciate that. So I sat and thought about it, and watching his stereo and amplifier videos, what he does, one of the things he did is hooks it up to the O-scope to cast left and right. So that's what I did. I wanted to see, we know we're not getting noise coming out of the amplifier on the speaker jacks. So I went ahead and plugged in my O-scope to the tape out on this device, and Shazamo, I got noise. So that's telling me that the circuit is working up to a certain point. Exactly where that point is, I don't know. But at least it's working. So my next step is going to be to troubleshoot backwards from this power amplifier. And I know this is not extremely as graceful in my eyes as it might be into yours, but the way how I'm reading it, where we have RL, this is going to be our output resistive load. So that's going to be the speaker terminals, or at least heading that away. And so we want to go to our input. So on this, on the right channel, our input's going to be, the positive is going to be pin number 18. And so I'll check that out. And just for the heck of it, because I'm not bright enough to tell you if there is a circuit going from the power transistor directly to the speaker terminals, I want to say that there's going to be a protective load maybe, or a protective circuitry. So from the power amplifier, I will also check pin number 13 and see what I get. I'll do that, and then I will, if everything looks good, then I'll check the other pins. I should probably check the other pins anyway. I mean, there's not that many of them. Let me plug this in, and we will look at it on the scope. Now you're probably wondering what's up with all the rags. Well, as stated, I was cleaning and I've got it all tore apart. I know this is not ANSI approved, but it's acting as a first layer of protection. As long as I don't rub and it don't dig through, I think I'm good and won't blow things up. Now with this, I do have this on, I still have it on my isolation transformer. So I should still be good, but you know, why take a chance of blowing things up if I don't have to? I'm going to fire this up. And you see it came right up, because apparently I forgot to turn it off. Real quick before I swing you to the scope, the supercapacitor I was talking about earlier in the video in regards to memory, that's the replacement. Looks like a box capacitor. Never worked with this before, but I'm thinking it should work. It's the same value. Now we do hear the speaker over here playing, buzzing. I do have the signal generator running through it. At 400 Hertz, I'm at 4 millivolts. Let me go to 10 millivolts. Oh, I need to push this button. Okay, maybe I push that button. Yeah. There we go. Let me increase my gain on the signal generator. Turn my volume up. So right here, like I said, 400 hertz at 15 millivolts. I got the volume up. That was full blast. So roughly about halfway. And I'm in center on my balance. So there's left channel, there's right channel. And now let me swing the camera back at the scope. Here you could probably hear my 400 hertz tone. I do have it turned down so it's not so obnoxious. I know how it is for me hearing tones. It just cuts through my head like a knife. But it is there. And what you're looking at is the output through record out. And this is on the right channel at 15 millivolts. You see we got a good sine wave happening. And I'm not sure why I did a wide shot on that last, but here's a close-up, a tighter shot. This is 400 hertz at 1 volt peak to peak. Go to 1000 hertz, and there we go. So that looks really, really good. Let me drop that down to 100 millivolts. And again, that looks fantastic. So one other thing while we're here, let's go over to the other channel, which is right there. I went in with a continuity checker and I was checking, I just probed the IC here, the power amp, and confirming that ground and ground does what they're supposed to do, talk to each other, which they did. And then I checked to see if we had any other pins that also showed a short, dead short, and we do. Between pin number 11 and 12, they do show a short. Now I haven't pulled this device yet, and I haven't tried anything else down the chain yet to see what's happening. As you see, we do have a capacitor right here. That for some strange reason is marked resistor. Mainly because I'm blind and I couldn't see what I'm pointing at. I had to look in the monitor just to confirm that was a capacitor. So, and it definitely does say resistor. So, yes, I need to test that to see if that's what's happening with that. But we do have a capacitor downline here as well. So I'm going to try this, check that out, see what happens. Unfortunately, I cannot get the camera in there where I'm at. I have not hooked power up to the amplifier yet to test, see if I had any other voltages coming out. I just thought I'd hit that with the meter and see if it beeped, and it does. So let me check that resistor real quick, and I'll let you know what's happening. Okay, I couldn't see this with my eyeball, and I couldn't get the magnifying glass in there very good to see, so I fired up the overhead camera, and pardon me while I try to get that center. But I think we might have a problem right there. Apologize for the camera movement. It's backwards, and so I'm seeing it one way, and it's going to be posted another way. But just looking at the rest of those resistors, everything looks good from what I could see. So I wonder if the power amp is just fine, because remember, as I mentioned earlier, I could hear it kind of bleed through. Yeah, I'm going to say dead short. But now here's the $5 question. Is that the sole problem, or is there another problem happening? So we need 100 ohm at a 1/4 watt.